Thanks for joining. This is Movado, and I'm back here with episode 13 of my Ascension Unchained Empyrean Galactic Let's Play series. After the last episode, I think I just finished up some more upgrades on the Perseus Destroyer. I don't think I quite had them all in last episode. Maybe I did, but anyway, I'm in my Perseus Destroyer. After the last episode, I said I was going to make it to the center of the universe, or at least start doing some combat testing. What I decided to do is, I'm not in the center of the universe, but I am in this system, which is, I don't know where I am, in the middle of neutral territory. I traveled a little bit. The center of the universe, I think, is over there. But this is a pretty good sector I jumped into, and I started taking a peek around. I found this combat site, class 4, combat site, class 3. Those are the combat sites that you want to look for the tough ships, the rare components, stuff like that. The other thing you'll find in these sectors, which is new to Ascension, this is a new POI, new spot. It doesn't show up on radar. I think it's called the Vengeance. It's this ship right here. Basically, it's my Soul Siphon CV, double-sided. Half of it chopped, the front nose of it chopped and flipped on the back, so it's got twice the turret loadout almost. It's loaded with a ton of guys on the inside and a ton of loot that you can salvage. Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, I did not bring, since this is an SV only section, I did not bring cores, because I did not bring Zeus. My goal is to kill that, go in it, loot it, and then get out some of the good stuff, because I'm pretty certain it has antimatter warp drive and some other goodies in it. So what I'm actually going to do right now is I'm going to warp back to Zeus, grab the things I forgot to grab, which is just back at the sun sector right here. Hopefully it's not too far away. If it is, I'll just pause the video. I need to grab some cores, 14 miles. I'll pause the video. I'm going to grab a turret tool as well. Sorry, I was trying to get that word out. The turret tool so I can do some salvaging. So a couple cores, some turret tools, and then I'm going to head back out there. Gosh, that ship is a POI, so I kind of wonder if I'll be able to core it, but I'll find out. I'm going to pause the video. I'll be right back when I get back there and get this all sorted. Alright, I am back. I got back to Zeus. I just locked my target. Zeus is right here. And I thought I locked it. Yep. And I'm going to be warping back right now as soon as I find it. Looks like it's in the sun, which is why I can't see it. Okay, there it is. Alright, I got the cores. I got the multi-charge, or multi-turret that I can slap on this ship when I need it. I grabbed some extra fuel and oxygen as well, topped off my fuel oxygen, and then I added more into the storage. Back to that Vengeance POI. So the one thing, and this is build 50, so it's possible it was changed. I think I let them know. It doesn't show up on radar, so they can be really hard to find. Sometimes what I do is once you get into the sector, you can just do the map command. That'll reveal the map, and then you can kind of see where it physically is. And sometimes you'll find a sector with multiple. Map hide will hide it if you want to do that. Otherwise, you can just hunt around the sector and look for them like that as well. But just a little tip if you don't want to look around. I think they should be detectable, but maybe they are intended to be a surprise that you stumble across. But I have seen sectors with multiple of them in. Good loot on them. Good amount of firepower as well. There is a little bit of a secret with them. So the core is in one nose of the ship. If you saw me fight the Excalibur ship the other day, pretty much the same core location, except with it having two noses. It can be kind of hard to tell which nose it's in, unless you really know the ships. So the reason why I'm coming at it from the bottom is very simple. There's just a lot less turrets in the bottom. So that's what I'm doing. I'm coming at it from the bottom. The other thing that's too bad is you can't really see the shield health left on it, so I'm just gonna have to watch. The core is, I'm pretty sure, gonna be, I'll back up, right in that location. So I'm just gonna sit here. I'm just gonna unload on this guy. Look at all these turrets. That's funny. When I hit the Alt key, my gamma lasers stop focus firing. So once this turns into explosions, once the shield is down, which I hope I can take his down faster than he's taking mine down, I'd imagine I am. I'm going to switch to plasma and blow a hole into the nose right where I'm shooting. Because I believe that's where the core is. And once I'm done here, I'll tell you why I think that's where the core is. There's actually a tell on the bottom of the ship because everything isn't completely symmetrical. When I merged the two sides together, I wasn't able to make it as seamless as I wanted, so you can kind of tell with some of the features and texturing on the bottom. We're going to keep going here for a little bit more. Now obviously the bottom is the weak spot. I do have a new version submitted in that has a whole bunch of turrets in the bottom, so this won't always be quite as easy to do. There we go. There we go. And I think the core is going to be right in here. There it goes. It's dead. That was the core. Wow, all these turrets just got shredded, or yeah, these thrusters just got shredded. Alright, so this is just an insane amount of loot on this thing right now. Let me do this. I'm going to park up here. And I'm going in. I don't think there's going to be any guys in it because I cored it. Can I core it? I can core it. Nice. This is the side that does not have the spawners. This is the side with the spawners. Yeah. Okay, let's go in here now. Yep. Okay. Whoa. Oh, I ran out of gravity generator range. I was like, why am I floating all of a sudden? It's because there's no longer gravity generators. Okay. I'm just taking a peek around here, just getting an idea of where everything is. Yeah, there's tons of loot in here too. Okay. Let's link up to controller 1. And then the big thing is you've got warp drives, shields. I mean, this is. I was just looking on that side. I see a big hole down there. Let's see what I all killed over here. Excuse me. Okay, let me core it really quick. And turn it off. These are all container controllers, ammo controllers. Okay, now that it's cored and I'm connected, let me see. Yeah, antimatter warp drive, yes please. Now this is where the turret tool would do just a little bit better job than with this multi-tools. Actually, I'm going to leave it there. I know where that is, so I can come get it later. Antimatter tank, I'll take that. Yes, please. It looks like there was... So here's the fun thing about this ship. Since it's copy and pasted, there's actually 2 of a lot of devices in it. So it's a great one to find. So it's good to seek this one out. Oh, there's a container up there. I didn't know that was up there. Okay. It's good to seek this one out. Alright, I'm going to come to the other side. Bastion shield, I bet you, is down here. Another antimatter tank. Bastion shield, yeah. Now, and I think the nice thing about this POI is that it is far enough away from the center of this sector where I think the guys will leave me alone. The ships that are there. All right, so that takes care of this level. Time to go to the upper levels a little bit. Oh yeah, all these extenders. Forgot about those. I'm going to go to the other side and get the extenders off of there as well. And the generators are up here too, all the advanced generators. I just want to be careful on weight because I do have an SV with me. That SV has a ton of lift capacity. However, I still want to be careful with how much I put in it. Okay, and we haven't even gotten to the best part of this ship. Let me head up here. Yeah, this is the room you want to be in. Let's head back here. Quantum and aux room. Like, look at this. Yes, 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 yes. And 6 more yeses to add to that pile of yeses. So there's a lot in here. I think it'd be fun if this thing were mobile, and I think there might be places where it is, but definitely a good POI worth finding. I'll eat the food out of the fridge while I'm here. I don't really care about most of this stuff. Probably doesn't have anything worthwhile in it. The crew, I'll take you. And you. You know, I can't target this general lady here. I don't know why. I've noticed that in other places. I just cannot. When I try to multi-charge retrieve her, I can't. Okay. Let me go to this side. Love running out of gravity generator range. Yeah, see, this is the mirror of the other side that just has a wall. Once I get down to the bottom level, I think that's everything in here that I'm gonna retrieve by hand. Go all the way down, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna throw the multi-charge or the multi-turret onto my ship and retrieve those antimatter drives. And then all these turrets are heavy turrets as well. Infrared laser beams, cruise missiles, EMPs. I'm going to take a quick scan around. If there's anything coming, it would be coming from this general direction because I'm pointed at the little white icon and I don't see anything there. Let's see, the turret tool I put in my controller. Gotta turn the shield off. Turn the shield back on quick. That does put me over by 139 CPU. Darn. Darn, darn, darn. Okay. Now, how much weight have I gained so far? Oh, actually not that much. That's pretty good. I'm trying to see. Okay, let me get in the multi-turret now. Retrieve. Yep, I'm getting full Xenoblocks. There is the antimatter drive. I'm going to remove that. Eventually. One antimatter warp drive. into my harvest controller. Yay. Okay. And, like I said, it's got 2. Now I just gotta find it. There it is. I think. No. What is that? A generator. Oh, that's a decoy. Yep, so I'm too far forward. There it is. There's the antimatter. So 2 antimatter warp drives out of it. Bastion shield. Antimatter pentaxa tanks. Numerous quantum auxiliary cores. Loaded to the teeth with heavy turrets. Which again, like I said, the bottom is a bit of an open spot. Fixed in a future ship, but for now it is what it is. One thing I haven't talked about was, how did I know where the core was? So the bottom is a little bit of a, since I built it, I know how I built it and how I designed the bottom of it. Really what I look for is if you see this little green X right here, and there's 2 green X's right here. The 2 green X's are the original side. This side is the pasted on side. So if you want to find the core, find the 2 green X's and then stick on that side. How much do I weigh? Oh dang, something must weigh a lot. 4.5 kilotons. Yeah, it's these. That's alright. I could tell I weighed a lot. So if you come at the bottom and you see those 2 X's, come to the nose on this side and then just shoot kind of right up in this area where you see these turrets. This is kind of the line you want to be in. It is right in here, and that's where the core is. Okay. Let me head back up top. So I'm going to have to salvage and then go back to the ship. Go back to Zeus. This thing can handle a lot of weight, but it's getting, when you're at 4.5 kilotons, that's a lot of weight. I'm going to pick up some of these heavy missile turrets. I can't really see though. Unless I put this on. I wish the multi-turrets had a little bit longer range on them, but overall they're still pretty good. It's nice having this option, period. Like, it makes SVs fully capable of being used for everything. There are drive thrusters on it if you want those. Personally, I don't need drive thrusters right now, so. Just taking a look around for any turrets in the bottom here. Alright. I probably am not going to pick up all these turrets. There we go. And then I'll throw a lot of these probably in my deconstructor to get the kits out of them, which I have a ton of kits and credits, so who knows, maybe I'll keep the turrets themselves. One other thing I wanted to say, so at the end of last episode, I was upgrading my ship and I couldn't upgrade more turrets to the heavy plasma versions, and I was confused why that was. So the reason why is because it's just the hard limit in the game and the way the game is designed. I play with block limits off, so you should be able to add as many turrets as you want, but one glitch with Empyrean or with heavy turrets is that It won't let you upgrade them even with block limits are off, but you can place as many as you want. So what was happening last episode was at the end I was trying to place additional or upgrade current plasma turrets to the heavy versions. Oh, I'm full. Let me fix that. So I was trying to upgrade them to the heavy version and it wasn't letting me. Well, the reason why it wasn't letting me is because I already had my maximum amount allowed on the ship. In order to bypass that limit, all you have to do is place those turrets, regular plasma turrets, just place them on any other SV that doesn't have heavy versions on them and upgrade them on that ship. And then you remove them with a multi-tool, kind of like what I'm doing right now. You just strip them off whole, and then you can place those turrets. So if I want to add more heavy plasma turrets, I just need to upgrade them on a different ship and then place them here. So just a little bit of a workaround. It's known, it's probably not going to be fixed, but that's kind of how everyone that plays with block limits off, that's how they get around that so-called limit. Oops. Yeah, this ship is getting quite heavy. Where am I here? And all these beam laser turrets that I'm stripping right now, they've got, you know, diamonds and other things in them too. Well, this is really what I wanted to come here for, honestly, as I wanted to find a ship that had the antimatter. What I was looking for was either the Soul Siphon itself as a orbital patrol vessel, which you'll sometimes find in these groupings, or this guy, this Vengeance, because both of them have antimatter warp drives and lots of goodies in them, as you can see. I mean, this is really good. This is a lot of materials. It kind of takes a lot of the grindiness out of it. I was playing around on the new build the other day, just a few days ago, and it's build 60 or something, like maybe up to 61 by now, I don't know. I think it's build 60 at least. Lots of things have even changed between build 50 and build 60, and I've only been on build 50 for about 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, it went up 10 builds. And, you know, lots of new crosshairs and icon. I mean, there's just a lot of new stuff being added. I can't even summarize it all very well, but there's just tons of new content that's being added that looks really cool. The crosshairs and kind of how those reticles look when you zoom in on weapons looks kind of cool. There's lots of changes with that. Different music, different scenes, different animations. So a lot of new things that are being added that, quite frankly, just haven't seen before, which is really awesome. And then, of course, I noticed recently that some of the things that are in Ascension are now being added to the base game, like heavy windows. They're talking about heavy windows for SV, Xenoblocks for SV. There's a few other things too. I think Deco blocks are in here as well as who knows? Maybe gravity generators, shutter doors. Maybe that'll be coming to vanilla now too. That it's here in Ascension. So it's kind of cool to see that stuff elsewhere. I'm more full. I'm full again. Where am I at on space? Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of cool to see some of that stuff coming into the actual game itself. Some of it's overdue. I know people have been asking for some of this stuff for quite some time, so it's good to see it finally getting in the game. Heavy windows is like the big one that like so many people have been asking for so long. Yeah. I kind of wish the range was a little bit longer on this multi-tool, to be honest. Get those turrets further back on the ship a little bit easier. 197 feet, I guess, isn't terrible, but I can't. Oh, I can reach that one turret. Cannot reach that one. I'll get a little bit closer. I may have to rethink where I put this multi-turret. Maybe I'll put it on the front nose of my ship next time, so I can get closer. Because it's only got 197 feet, and 197 feet from where it's positioned right now, there's a lot of ship to pass over. Alright, well what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video, finish salvaging this up, and I will be right back. Alright, I am back. Back at the Zeus. I salvaged up all those turrets, and I just took this opportunity to do all the upgrades on Zeus that I wanted to. So, I've got the antimatter tank, and hard to see back in the corner, that's the antimatter warp drive in the back. I had to remove the furnace, remove a pane of glass, put that antimatter drive in there, and then replace the furnace and that pane of glass. The other thing I had to do is I had to add more CPU to the ship. I had 3.1 million. The antimatter warp drive is a 500,000 by itself, plus the regenerative is a 500,000. So with that, I added another quantum. I just looted a bunch of those, so that was no problem whatsoever. And I am set on Zeus. So Zeus is now upgraded with antimatter drive, regenerative shield, antimatter tank, furnace decon, all the constructors, extra thrusters added to the outside of it, obviously the farm, and hey, as long as I'm talking about the farm, let's go back to the farm. Bait. 8 bait. So while they look like vegetables, these are bait plots that I made. See, this one, this one's a hydroponic, but this is actually a bait plot. And these, if I link up to my raw ingredients, you can see I already have 32 bait. And I'm adding more. Bait is meant for fishing. I have made a fishing pole. As long as I'm here, I'm going to harvest a lot of this. By the way, the stuff like the fruits and vegetables and just crops in general seem to harvest easier, so I think they must have increased the hitboxes on these to harvest them. Because it seems I can just run through and it harvests everything now. So that's nice that it's not so hard to do your farming now. You can just kind of look around and it picks everything easily. It's like before there was this exact science. If you didn't do it just perfectly, you didn't get it. But now it seems to be super forgiving. I mean, you can see how fast I'm able to harvest all these. Alright, that's my farm. Done. 108 plots. Harvested. Okay. Just going to disconnect. I got 64 bait, so that's pretty cool. Oh, one thing I didn't do is I didn't put the pentaxid back on the ship and turn the shield back on. I don't have to do this manually, but I'm going to. And turn everything else on as well. Constructors can be on. I was just looking at my power. I should be fine with power, honestly. I have 2 advanced generators, which is a lot for Ascension because of how much they've been boosted here. Okay. That wraps up that side of it. This is a really cool system because it's got a hell planet. The other thing I like about it is, oh, I should do this. It's got a barren, which I really like. It also has the barren metal planets. All right, where am I at on time? I am about 30 minutes into this session. Let's head to the center of the universe. Let's do that. I said that last time, so I'm going to do it. Spinning around, you can see this big glowy center is kind of where it's at. The other way to get about it, so I'm going to come right into the middle here, is you can almost, if you go up and down, you can almost see planes of stars, and there's one right here, left to right. That kind of means that's the center of the universe, if you will, the horizontal plane or the vertical plane. And then, why? I couldn't turn my mouse when I was out there. So that kind of gives you an indication where the center of the universe is going to be. The other way you can do it is actually, they added this search SMBH. They added this search function. And it is right there. So if you know you're looking for the SMBH at the center of the universe, there is only one. I'm going to lock on that guy. It's 200 light years away with my antimatter drive. That's no problem. It's only 100 pentaxid. It's almost free. Alright, let's head there. Now, if you've never been to this supermassive black hole at the center of the universe, first of all, it's massive. The black hole is huge. Secondly, they did just recently change this, I think, in vanilla. But this ocean planet exists around every supermassive black hole, and it's a unique planet. So I'm going to go there. Maybe I shouldn't go there with Zeus alone, but I'm going to because I have regenerative shield, and I can probably outrun everything. Into the planet if I have to. This is a very hostile sector. Extremely hostile. Right off the bat, yeah. Tesh, Creel, Xerax, Pirates, Polaris, Warlords. So yeah, this is a fun sector to clear. There is a lot here. It can get hairy really quick. I actually did this in Reforged Eden. I have a video on my channel as well where another guy and I think, cleared this sector. Yeah, we cleared this sector, and it was tons of fun. The Creel has locations in space that'll keep spawning. I don't know if it's this Canum, Platerum, or whatever. I don't know if it's those or not, but Sentry. Well, I haven't gotten shot yet. The other thing that's really cool about this ocean planet, so number one, this is a huge war zone. You can have a ton of fun here. The resources, gold, aluminum, titanium, and platinum, they are all on this planet, and they're all auto-mineable, of course, like you've seen in previous episodes. This planet is stocked. I'm going to head south. Usually the poles are the better spot to find it. A little tip I recently learned, apparently there's a medium aluminum. Everything when it's generated is generated starting from the South Pole up to the center and from the North Pole down, so I've heard it's better to circle around the poles to find things than anywhere else, because it's more likely you're going to find it in the bottom half of the planets or the top half of the planets and not in the middle. So just a little tip that I found, and as I've been exploring planets, it seems to be true. I mean, look at all the stuff at the bottom down here. Yeah, you're going to have pockets of stuff, which the equator is probably right about here. You're going to have pockets of stuff that are a little bit more north, but generally speaking, you're going to see a lot more at the bottom. Ignore those 3 question marks. Literally, they are put there to confuse you and to make you wonder, hey, what's that? Actually, while I'm here, I am going to, let's see, look at myself. I'm going to take the bait, see some fish I caught last time, and I am going to go to my personal storage and take my fishing pole. Scanning for fish. It's an ocean world, so I think there's fish here. Not all systems, they have to be added per planet, so not every planet has them. Has fish. I don't. Let me see if I see. They just simply might not be any here. Or I'm doing it wrong. Usually there's a yellow marker if you've got them, and I don't see it right now. That's a good pocket down there. Yeah, I don't see it. I'm guessing this is a custom planet, this ocean world here. I think the custom nature is probably why it doesn't have schools of fish, because like I said, they have to be added to every planet. Oh, look at that titanium meteorite. That's probably the first time I've ever seen a titanium meteorite fly in like that. I'm gonna take this off of my bar. I wonder if flying caused an issue. Yeah. Alright, well that's fine. No big deal. What I do think I want to do though is land my ship and head back up into outer space and do some combat. So I'm gonna pick this island over here that looks pretty bare. I'm gonna drop Zeus on it. What are those? Androraptor. Alright, so there's some hostile raptors here, that's fine. Zeus will take care of them. Yeah, I can hear my guns going off. Alright, power saver. Turn the shield off. I'm gonna leave the turrets on just for a little bit. Constructor's off. Yeah, the turrets are what I'll need to shut off to get my power down to negative. Yeah, I don't think fishing has been added to this planet. I was just looking, it popped up again. You'd be right in this area, but I'm guessing the raptor that's showing on my radar is on the other side of that hill. Either way, not a concern. Raptors are not a worry. Where does that leave me? Not quite enough. Interesting. My base power usage has increased in this ship, in Zeus, since I've added that additional devices, which makes sense. Alright. One thing I could say is if I really wanted to bring in a ship with salvaging capabilities, oh, it's in my hangar, I could bring the silver salvager that I spawned in earlier this season. That's made for the interior bay of Perseus, so if I really wanted to, I could bring that. I'm not going to, because I don't know that I care about salvaging too much. I'm just going to go out there and have some fun and kill some shit. That's what I'm doing today. Killing. And I did unload. Yeah, I did unload this ship. So I got all the weight off of it. Alright, Sonnet class here first. Wow, I saw my generator spiked up. And I added 2 already. I wonder if I have to add more than 2. I was bursting there. I was using the shift burst. I don't know what it takes to get it to spike above 100%, but I notice sometimes it does. Yeah, we're going to core this thing really quick. Pretty sure the core is on the left side somewhere. Oh, big boom. Sonnet class is dead. Cored. Although my turrets seem to think it's still alive, but it's not. Okay. Sonnet 1 dead. Who's next? Pirates defense nail. That's interesting. Alright, so Tesh I'm neutral with. That's interesting. Creel I'm honored. So the only ones I gotta worry about are Xerax, it looks like. I'm gonna find out what this guy's. Hopefully it's not like a Dreadnought. I don't want to fight a Dreadnought in this thing. How's Xenu Kraken? The Kraken. Uh-oh. The Kraken has spoken. The Kraken is best taken on head first once you get its shield down. Ooh. Yeah, kind of hard to see. So the Kraken, your best strategy is actually dead straight in front of it, I think. Oh man. Well, the problem with being dead straight in front of it is that it's going to want to churn. So I'm gonna follow it for now. I'm gonna kind of come around the back side of it and just hit it. The glowy blocks that you see that look like lava are the oh, he's gonna go into the planet. I hate it when they do this. So there is a glitch with Empyrean, not Ascension, not Reforge. It is vanilla Empyrean where ships will go straight through planets. This guy's gonna do it. He's gonna go straight into that planet and I will not be able to follow him, which then his shield is gonna reset. I think. Oh, he didn't. I've never actually seen one turn around like that. Usually they go straight through the planet like it doesn't exist. I mean, this is just an insane amount of firepower coming off this SV. And I gotta be careful here so I don't enter the planet, the atmosphere. I don't want his shield resetting. In first person. Oh, he turned to the planet again. Okay. I'm gonna back off. I want him to come at me, which he should. Here we go. Big time big booms now. What is this? I just gotta watch my shield here. They are crashed, which works better for me. Yeah, the core is in the bottom somewhere. It's in the middle. It is really hard to see. There, that actually helps a little bit. They're going to go into the planet. They're in the planet now. It's really too bad. I can't... Oh, it's just a Sunnet. But I can't go any closer in there. They're inside the planet. God, that's... And now he's going to get his shield back, too. Yep, 10%. 141%. Kraken's got his back. Well, that sucks. Empyrean, Elion, fix this glitch. Planets exist. Enemies can't fly through planets like this. They do it all the time. It's been reported. I've reported it before. It's a known bug, as they say. They haven't fixed it. Alright, well, moving on. Sunnet class Corvette. These are easy. How am I doing on time here? 45 minutes in. I really wanted to take out that Kraken, although I'm not even set up to salvage it at this point. Yeah. All this firepower is awesome on this SV. Definitely the most powerful SV I've ever seen. I've never seen anyone with more with it, just because Ascension actually allows you to build powerful SVs. You can't build them in any other scenario like this. Maybe vanilla to a certain extent, but even there, yeah. In vanilla, you don't have the weapon loadout like you do here. Come on, I'm just trying to blow your core out. He's trying to go into the planet too, it looks like. Oh, and now they came back. You know, I'm not even going to mess with the Kraken anymore because it just takes so long to get his shield down. Well, maybe I should. If he's coming towards me... all three of them are just going to be grouped up. Which, when they get stuck, it causes a bunch of lag. The game itself, and I can't tell what's what in here. Other than the fact that I'm just wrecking all of them while I'm hitting their shields. The Kraken is pushing the Corvette. But ironically, the Corvette is eating a bunch of my damage as well. So I need to reposition so it is not the closest one. It's going back towards the planet again. Elion, you idiots. Come on. Fix this frickin' glitch. Maybe I can block him? Probably not. He's just going to push me too. Big shields. I think this guy, I think he's considered a CV. Probably has a Bastion shield in it. Well, he's churning a little bit, so maybe if I stay to this side of him, it'll encourage him to stay away from the planet. I don't know. I'm not really sure what causes him to want to fly through a planet. Yeah, thank you for turning around. He's still pushing that Corvette. He's still pushing it. They're still locked together. Yeah, see, I'm just going to unload on him for now and let my stuff unload just to take out a bunch of its turrets. And at this point, okay, I'm just going to go for the bottom. I'm just going to keep unloading down here. Its core's in there somewhere. I mean, the core's in the middle of the ship. it's not like exposed or somewhere silly. He just flips a lot. Maybe this is where I gotta go back in front of him. Oh, he dropped the Sunnet, finally. And I am... Oh, don't go towards that planet. Yeah, he doesn't want to... Am I out of flipping plasma already? That went fast. It's just my Type B, which is the regular plasma variants. Try to take out some of these rear drive thrusters. That's what I'm trying to do here. Keep hitting that one, but it's not going. There it goes. No, it didn't. Must have been a different thruster. Yeah, and you can kind of ignore that weapon firing direction as blocked message. Yeah, this guy, I mean, he's moving fast, like, and he just keeps moving in different directions. It's like he's got ADD or something. Alright, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change... Come on. Oh man, I'm going to crash or something. Okay. Plasma, thrusters. Hit those thrusters. Slow this guy down. Really? Well, he seems to be favoring churning to the right now that his one thruster's gone. I didn't realize the Kraken, though, was in the Zirax, or I guess House Xeno weapon group. How much manual fire plasma do I have? I still got 7,000 rounds. I can't believe I went through that much plasma already. I had like 10,000 rounds on me or something. Something went. I like it. There it goes. There it goes, Kraken. Now, I'm certain there's a lot of hidden thrusters in this thing. Buried deep within its shell. But that should slow it down. But he's just going to run to the planet, probably. Kind of wanted to ram him to see what happened. Yeah, I can see there's turrets in here, or there's thrusters in here too. Buried in or buried in blocks. Keep missing. There you go. Hit him. That was something. That was something. That was... Oh, man. Yeah, now we're starting to get somewhere. The Kraken is taking a beating. Not sure what all those explosions are, but I like it. I'm trying to get this drive thruster out of this pod over here. That's the biggest hurdle right now, is maybe this drive thruster will slow it down just a little bit more. Bye-bye, guy. There it goes. There that thruster goes. What's left for drive? I don't see much left for drive thrusters. Can I ram you to stop you? Probably not. It'll probably, if I keep doing that, cause it to glitch. Well, I'm going to try to core this thing, and then I'm going to wrap it up because I am at an hour. Uh-oh. How did I turn my shield off? It's a good thing I have a regenerative shield, and it charges fast. I'm sure people have done that before. I've done that before. Well, this would be a lot easier if I didn't run out of ammo. It is in there, though. I've got a hole through the middle. Like, it's got to be really close to getting it. This is where CVs are a little bit nicer because they just do a little bit more damage and it's a little bit faster. How am I sitting on ammo? That Type B is really too bad. I mean, all these explosions, like, how many thrusters? I know it's got buried thrusters in it. That didn't do anything. It just changed its direction. Yeah, see, CVs would tear through this pretty quickly. Where am I now? Oh, I'm quite a ways away from the planet. Well, let's snap back real quick. Maybe not. Oh, that's funny. And see, now I just completely confused him by ramming him. Which at this point it's going to be really hard to core it because he's not going to be in any consistent pattern. Well, I think what I need to do is back away, actually. I feel like I need to back away and let him reset. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to core him with him doing this without tearing him to absolute shreds, and at that point all the loot's gone anyway, so... Well, I think that's good enough for one day. That's the Kraken. Eventually I'll take him down. Cores and somewhere buried deep in the middle. Those blocks have a lot of hit points, which is why it takes so long for SVs to take him down. But I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks for joining. If you have any questions, please do let me know. Otherwise, thanks for joining. Hope to see you next time. Take care, everyone.